built.
I like to sort of number scenes, like this is a 10, this is a 7, this is a 6, this is on certain levels, and I sort of expressed where I think the peaks were.
And what I'm going to do on the freighter is I'm going to cut you on the freighter standing, and I'm going to do a Steadicam shot that comes around you like this, and I'm going to continue around you here, stand. All right, so you're just standing in the middle of the thing.
I don't know these people. This is wrong. I'm not supposed to be here. 20, 21.
Desmond's pretty nuts at the beginning, so he doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know who they are, and he's pretty out of it. The reality of all of a sudden being in a different time would, I'm sure would send people to a psychiatric hospital, because I know I would have freaked out.
Desmond, are you all right? Who are you? How do you know my name?
Well, we're at a naval base, I think. It might actually be a museum. There's planes all around us. One of the hangars. We're doing something called Poor Man's Process, where we pretend the helicopter's in the air and film with the green screen.
A little more rocking and rolling of the helicopter.
I'm making this chopper fly.
We're at 2,000 feet. You better hold on there, buddy.
Fans on! 3, 2, 1, action! Sit down. What are we doing here? What the hell's going on? Something's wrong with Desmond. How do you know my name? Hold it! Where is it? Hold up! Let go of me, Frank! Let go of me!
And it should look pretty cool, I think.
That Penelope?
She told Charlie she didn't know about this boat, correct?
Flying along. And straight ahead.
There we are, safely landed. Okay, another fun day on Lost.
Are you Daniel Faraday? I think I've just been to the future.
It could be just a dream.
That was a big day's work. That was 2 very long, intense scenes.
This is where I do the things Oxford pounds.
So you sent her to the future?
No. Her consciousness, her mind. In your case, I'm guessing the progression is exponential.
I didn't actually make this up. We had a professor from UH come down and write this stuff up. He put in real physics equations that lead towards those conclusions, but with no real conclusion being proven, They got a little bit more work to do in physics to really prove time travel is possible.
This episode, I have to say, is when I first read it, I was more scared of it than any other episode I could see was full of pitfalls, full of traps, because it could easily be terribly angsty and hammy and over the top.
Ian is one of those actors who gives you a lot of truth. I mean, like that extraordinary scene at the end that he plays with Penny when he finally talks to her. It was a tricky scene.
That's his ultimate goal, to be reunited with Penny. That's all he can think about.
It could have been schmaltzy and over the top, but his emotion is so truthful and so raw and so beautiful. And, all I said to him before was, we know what this is. And he goes, yeah, I know. And I said, just go there.
Hello?
Penny?
Okay, and Faraday's on the computer, and action.
That was really good.
Great. All right.
Yay. Yes. Oh, I can't wait to beat you up.
Me neither. I can't wait to kick her ass.
Oh, thanks.
That's it.
Yay. I love my job.
First thing I do is analyze what I think the actual actors can do given each individual actor's ability. And that's one of the important things as stunt coordinator is to know your actors and your talent. You want to use them as much as possible, of course, without letting them feel uncomfortable. No, you shouldn't get to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Second thing I do is immediately call their doubles, and we choreograph the fight.
Okay. We put it on tape for the director to see what it's going to look like. Obviously, on the day, it's going to look much more intense and much more like you wanted it, but
But it's a good opportunity for the director and the producers to kind of get to see how it's all working and that everybody's on the same page.
So put a crash on this side, so she drives her to this side,
okay,
and then drives her back to this side.
So two crashes, yeah. Two crashes. So that it won't be as awkward as her flipping her around.
Roll, please, roll it. And action. All right. Good. One more.
You read the fight scene, and it's like 2 pages of packed text of this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. And so it's very specific, all the different beats that you have to get. And so a fight scene that plays for maybe 25 seconds at the most in the actual film takes all of these different shots to show each of these very detailed beats. The gun skitters out of her hand, she grabs the gun, she hits her on the head, she kicks her in the stomach, and each of those has to be shot from the correct angle for the hits to actually look like they're working, or else you'll realize that they're not actually hitting each other, which they're not.
Cut. That's cut.
It really helps me get into character. Don't be jealous. They'll all be wearing it.
Okay, 2 cameras. Okay, so this is real Liz. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So generally an actor will work with your stunt person, and then your stunt person will work with the actor, and you trade for coverage. Hit her, wham, with the gun, and she's off. Okay. She knows exactly how to dodge and how to keep you safe. So if someone's going to be hitting you, you want it to be someone who's trained to be hitting you, then they'll miss. Juliet's such a great character, and Elizabeth is awesome. She's fantastic. She gets in there, gets dirty and gritty, and is ready for it all. Let's fight.
When actresses are really into it and are passionate about it, it gives us the stunt women, the stunt doubles more fun to make them look really badass. So it's fun for us. It just goes all around.
Definitely. I've always considered the character to be particularly vicious on the inside, so this is actually really fun for me. Whatever he's doing, tell him to stop. We're trying to disable it before he can use it against us.
Let's hear it for the actors in this sequence. Shauna and Elena. Big thank you to the ladies.
This is our post-fight Twix. Okay, our daily Twix. Who am I kidding? We made up. Look, there's just a few bumps and bruises, but we're good friends now. I behave. Mm-hmm. Only because she's pretty. If she was ugly, I wouldn't have.
Nobody leaves this ship without my say-so. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Clean this mess up.
They'd always talked about Michael coming back at some point, but they were never really sure when it was going to be.
We felt that the audience deserved to know, once he and Walt sailed off in the boat, what was their journey.
Essentially,